I think it's great that we're seeing allies from other countries supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, and they're speaking out themselves, saying they're not innocent.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the trending moments that had a major impact on the world and world affairs.
Part of the work of the Me Too movement is about the restoration of that humanity for survivors.
Doge.
Your Doge? What are you talking about?
The dog we all know and love, pictured in the memes, was born on November 2nd, 2005.
Beginning as a goofy mispronunciation of the word dog, Doge has become particularly associated with a meme surrounding one particular Doge. The dog in question, a Shiba Inu named Kabasu, gives some hilarious side-eye in the most famous picture of her.
In early 2010, Sato updated her personal blog with pictures of Kabosu, including the iconic photograph of the dog glancing sideways with raised eyebrows.
However, the meme didn't stop at image macros. It has also inspired a cryptocurrency, Dogecoin. Although originally created as a joke, it's among the most popular of the volatile investments.
Collective value of all Dogecoins exceeded 10 billion, as more and more people invested serious money into a currency that was now much more than just a meme.
Furthermore, US presidential advisor and richest man in the world, Elon Musk, helped spearhead the creation of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. The newly created department has slashed thousands of government jobs and created plenty of controversy, and it all started with a funny dog picture.
By eliminating your position, how much money was saved for the taxpayers?
The taxpayers ain't save any money by eliminating mine. The money that we have under my leadership actually returned is over $30 billion to the Treasury.
I'm no mathematician, but that sounds pretty good.
It Gets Better project.
But I was picked on because, I liked musicals and I was obviously gay, and some kids didn't like that, and I did get harassed.
Teens cutting their own lives short is a tragic issue. In the wake of several gay teenagers doing so, Dan Savage and his now husband, Terry Miller, created a highly viral video sharing a simple message: it gets better. Not only did the original video trend, it also inspired others to join their stories, with other gay adults and celebrities and politicians of all orientations joining in.
You are not alone. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything to deserve being bullied. And there is a whole world waiting for you, filled with possibilities. There are people out there who love you and care about you just the way you are.
The project is now a nonprofit aimed at helping and motivating young LGBTQ+ people worldwide. We are all unique, but we also have a community of people who could support us and empower us. It's just a matter of finding them.
If you don't give power to the words that people throw at you to hurt you, they don't hurt you anymore. And you actually have power over those people.
Ice Bucket Challenge.
Bill Gates, my partner at Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, and Netflix's founder and CEO, Reed Hastings.
People doing something uncomfortable online is always going to get a lot of attention, but doing it for a good cause? Well, that's even better. The Ice Bucket Challenge was created to spread awareness for ALS, also called Lou Gehrig's disease or motor neuron disease. Those challenged must film themselves having a bucket or other container of icy water dumped over them, or else make a charitable donation, or both.
All right. Go for it. Do it. 3.
Okay.
The viral challenge and even celebrity attention helped raise a substantial amount of money for organizations researching the disease. And while attempts to recapture the viral sensation haven't been quite as successful, some participants have continued donations in the years since. GameStop short squeeze.
We can be the ones selling it to them at whatever the price is. Other people hear that and they're like, you know what? You're right. So they do that. They start to push the price of the stock up, probably closer to what it actually should be worth, considering that the company's not going bankrupt. And then the stock starts to increase in value a lot, and that becomes news, and that brings more people in, whether they understand what's going on or not.
The stock market is complicated, but some people understand it, and some of those people are on Reddit, specifically the subreddit r/Wall Street Bets. Some users noticed that the stock of gaming retailer GameStop was being undervalued compared to how successful it was, with hedge funds essentially promising to buy more GameStop shares than actually existed. These users then began hyping up and buying up GameStop stocks.
The plan was for the Reddit army to keep buying GameStop stock, driving up the price and making the hedge funds lose more and more money. The hedge funds would be forced to abandon their positions and cover their losses by buying shares from the market to return to their lenders.
This meant the hedge fund shorting the price would need to buy all the stocks they'd previously shorted at the market value, which had been driven up by what was basically a meme. The resulting fallout led to huge losses from the hedge funds, market fluctuations, a US congressional investigation, and a movie adaptation.
Wall Street bets, I thought, were a bunch of idiots just throwing money at a stock because they thought it was funny. I was wrong. Now I see what Wall Street bets really is. It is a revolution.
This is one of those rare moments when Wall Street are the ones being screwed over.
Coney 2012.
We worried the rebel when they raise us again, then they will kill us.
A nearly 30-minute documentary and call to action over Ugandan war criminal and cult leader Joseph Kony. Coney 2012 went viral with nearly unprecedented speed. Its emotional appeal and Kony's horrific treatment of children touched the hearts of nearly everyone who watches it.
And what he does is he takes children from their parents and he gives them a gun to shoot, and he makes them shoot and kill other people.
But they're not going to do what he says because they're nice guys, right?
Yeah, they don't want to do what he says, but he forces them to do bad things.
Thanks to its overnight success and numerous calls by viewers to their representatives, the US Congress passed a resolution to assist the African Union's attempts to capture Kony. One of its creators also had a very public and very naked breakdown. While Kony remains at large as of this writing, his forces have been much reduced, and he was forced into hiding.
He's still out there, but his army is shrinking and splintering. He is effectively in hibernation.
Barack Obama Hope poster.
Rose to international prominence with your Obama Hope poster from 2008.
During then US presidential candidate Barack Obama's 2008 campaign, his publicist commissioned artist Shepard Fairey to create a poster for them. The resulting stencil portrait, with its vivid use of red, beige, and blue, and messages reading hope, change, and progress, quickly became famous.
Well, they're both about putting across my philosophy, which the obey is getting people to question obedience, and in a sense, it's antagonistic, it's provocative. The Obama was, after a very dark period of the Bush years and a lot of cynicism, it was a genuinely optimistic gesture, very sincere.
Versions featuring other public figures, both real and fictional, with captions their own, have been the subject of memes in the years since its creation. The poster may have helped contribute to Obama's first election, and the original poster is now displayed in the Smithsonian Institute. Plus, it's practically a visual shorthand for political messaging and posters now.
And do you still feel optimistic about the president?
Blocking the Keystone Pipeline was something that I'm very proud of him doing.
WikiLeaks.
It's a worry, isn't it, that the rest of the world's media is doing such a bad job that a little group of activists is able to release more of that type of information than the rest of the world press combined.
A nonprofit organization dedicated to publishing leaked, often classified government information, WikiLeaks has gone viral several times during its history. WikiLeaks has released information revealing corruption from several governments, as well as diplomatic and military documents from the United States, with their 2010 leak in particular causing a firestorm online worldwide.
In this video, I think you see the corruption of pilots and the military by war itself, in particular by the modern nature of aerial warfare. So you see these young pilots acting like they're playing video games, only the high scores they are getting are with real human lives.
The organization's info drops have proven controversial, with some praising them and others criticizing a lack of circumspection, such as including social security numbers and other personal data. WikiLeaks and particularly founder Julian Assange have also faced a mountain of legal difficulties. However, in the wake of WikiLeaks revelations, governments have had to re-examine what it means to be transparent with their citizens in the age of the internet.
At the bottom line, they're a publisher. And so the idea that a government is going after them, if anyone's cheering that on, they don't belong in a democracy.
Arab Spring videos.
In 2010, the Arab Spring happened and changed the whole situation in the Middle East. In Syria,
Dictator Bashir al-Assad didn't think much of resigning and started a gruesome civil war against his own people.
Speaking of WikiLeaks, some of the organization's leaked documents in 2010 included the corruption present in several Arab and Middle Eastern countries. These leaks, as well as widespread authoritarian abuses, led to protests breaking out across northern Africa and the Middle East.
Protesters armed themselves not only with signs, but with cell phones, allowing the protests to spread at social media speed. On January 11th, a week after Bouazizi's death, Tunisia's government fell apart, and the disgraced president Ben Ali fled the country.
Despite attempts by governments to suppress information about the protests, social media played a big role in not only reporting on the demonstrations, but also in organizing them. The Arab Spring demonstrations saw longtime dictators in Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya, among others, all being deposed. Additionally, the protests sparked armed conflicts like the Syrian civil war, the rise of ISIS, and the Yemeni civil war, all of which continue to have repercussions today.
While the Arab Spring revealed how fast a revolution fueled by technology could unfold, it also once again proved how complicated and unpredictable revolutions can be.
#MeToo.
And the vision I have for this work is giving me a larger platform to speak about it, talk about it, and more resources to actually implement some of these ideas.
Although the Me Too movement actually began back in the mid-2000s on social media, with activist Tarana Burke, it didn't truly go viral until after the Harvey Weinstein allegations ignited the internet. Actress Melissa Milano began the Me Too hashtag on Twitter, hoping to spread awareness of the magnitude of the issue of sexual harassment and assault, and spread it did.
But now, Me Too is igniting wider debates.
Day is on the horizon!
About the ability of legal systems to deliver justice.
In addition to many high-profile celebrities coming forward, social media exploded, with Facebook once disclosing that over half its American users knew someone who had been assaulted. The movement led to several abusers, particularly in the entertainment industry, being exposed. Additionally, the Me Too movement has undeniably led to greater cultural awareness worldwide of assault and far more calls to crack down on it.
I pulled out a piece of paper and I wrote Me Too on the top of it. And I proceeded to write out an action plan for building a movement based on empathy between survivors that would help us feel like we can heal, that we weren't the sum total of the things that happened to us.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
#Black Lives Matter.
Trayvon Martin, an unarmed Black American teen, was walking home from a convenience store in Sanford, Florida, when he was fatally shot by George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch volunteer. After police in Florida decided not to arrest Zimmerman, the case sparked international protests and debates about racial profiling, racial violence, and self-defense laws.
Founded by a trio of activists in 2013, Black Lives Matter is a social movement that has acted in response to widespread racism and discrimination against Black people, particularly by the police.
Justice for Eric Garner! Justice for Eric Garner!
In the days after Garner's death, rallies were held in 5 cities, with protesters calling themselves part of the Black Lives Matter movement.
The movement gained momentum and trended several times in the 2010s and early 2020s, particularly in the wake of several highly publicized deaths of Black people at the hands of police.
But the core argument that African Americans aren't treated equally is backed up by statistics that show that Black men are killed by police at a higher rate than white men.
BLM has sparked online discussion and real-world protests, with somewhere between 15 to 26 million protesters participating in the United States, making it one of the biggest protest movements in American history. While reactions have varied over time, and the movement has created several counter-movements, there's no denying the impact of Black Lives Matter on public discourse.
Perhaps one of the biggest shifts comes from the reflections and conversations being had around the world. It can be quantified in the millions of dollars that have been donated to the Black Lives Matter movement. In Washington, D.C., the street in front of the White House has been renamed Black Lives Matter Plaza.
Is there another viral moment that made the world stand still? Get moving down to the comments to tell us your picks.
Challenge accepted.